improve his defense. He's got to keep his mouth shut. And a lot of intrigue surrounds this guy. And he's only 25. He can hit in the big leagues. He can hit in the big leagues. No question about it. How many people think that this is the year that Clint Frazier finally makes his mark? Anybody like Clint Frazier? It would have to be in an American League only, that's for sure. But got to take the position that Clint Frazier is going to. Dirty Eck has joined us. Good morning to Dirty Eck. Big Al is here. Good morning to Big Al. Dirty Eck, great to see you. Drop third strike, great to see you. George has landed back in the chat room telling me to talk about ladders. I'm hooked on ladders, George, so I'll be talking about it. There's King Hap, and great to see the chat room. And there he is, the White Sox Al. You know White Sox Al will be in the chat room every day just because the White Sox will be in the chat room every day. Adamet Antavino, I'll tell you something. Second camp as a Yankee, he faces a lot of questions about his awful postseason, successful regular season. So a lot's going to depend on him. And Gary Sanchez, can he stay healthy? And can he improve defensively? Gleyber Torres, big question. How can he handle the shortstop spot every day? Okay? Can Luke Voigt be back after off-season surgery? Can J.A. Happ carry whatever he found last September and contribute as a number 5 starter? Lots of question marks, but the Yankees, unlike many other teams, don't need every question mark to come through in the proper way. Half of them, that's all they need. A player I want to talk to you about that I've really followed in the offseason, not the Yankees, but the Mets, Jared Familia. He got a 3-year contract last year worth $30 million, and he had the worst season of his career. So what has he done? He lost 30 pounds since the start of the offseason, and that's a big deal. That shows some dedication, okay? He had a tough season last year. He was 270 pounds. He's now 240. So with the big flop known as Edwin Diaz, I got to tell you, if you want to take a chance on Edwin Diaz, you have to go ahead and in the reserve round of your fantasy draft, back him up with Jairus Familia. If you do, it'll be a great move to back him up with Familia, knowing that he's lost 30 pounds, okay? Familia had a 5.7 ERA in 66 pitches, and by late summer he was demoted to being a mop-up guy. So don't think anybody's going to steal him from you, okay? He's not going to, they're not going to steal him. So you could actually come up with a pretty good relief pitcher, possibly in Diaz. If he doesn't work out, they're going to go with Familia. He's been a man on a mission, is what I've been told. Okay, so look, Luis Rojas named the manager after Carlos Beltran departed. Rojas spent 8 seasons managing in the Mets minor league system. Okay, he was the quality control coach. A lot of people answer in my social media posts. So don't forget, Familia was bumped as the closer for the New York Mets, and he'll receive a lot of consideration, especially if Diaz falters. Now, a lot of people have jumped on the Phillies bandwagon, but I don't think the Phillies have enough pitching. Lots of ifs on the Phillies, but to embrace the Philadelphia Phillies, you have to really embrace their pitching, and I can't do that. Vegas says 85 wins for the Phillies. Last year they had him for a lot more, okay? 4 wins less than what they had him for last year. So the Phillies may be enticing, but I don't see how the pitching is going to hold up here. I really don't. Last year they entered 2019. They needed Odubel Herrera to be something special. They needed that. They wondered if David Robinson, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Pat Neshek, Tommy Hunter would be people they could count on. The Phillies carry into spring training with Jake Arrieta, Vince Vasquez, and Zach Eflin. I'm sorry, I don't really have a lot of confidence in any of those three. And they just, look, they're at the age now where you can't really expect improvement. Maybe just marginal. The guy who I think is going to improve is Zach Wheeler. Okay, he could. Wheeler and Aaron Nola would give the Phillies as good as a twosome as you'll find in the National League. Okay, so I will definitely believe that. And of course, the Nationals with Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin. The Mets will feature DeGrom and Syndergaard. But Nola and Wheeler aren't even the best twosome in their own division. So if you think about the Phillies this year, you're making a big mistake, in my opinion. The player that has been talked about for the Atlanta Braves, the team that finished 4 games ahead of Washington in the East last season, the over-under on their win total this season is 2 games higher than Washington's, and the Mets are right there too. But the player that I want to focus on is Austin Riley. And Austin Riley, I've been following him in the offseason, and he's been working on his front elbow. He had some problems with his elbow, and he's starting to focus on what it's doing at the start of his swing. And he says by doing that, it's made a tremendous difference. Last year, Riley got into trouble. He was actually working down instead of clearing and letting his backside to be able to work. It's kind of, I don't really get it, but these are the things that he's talking about. He's working with his lower half. It's been really good, and Austin Riley could very well be a huge surprise. Now, with the potential that Austin Riley has, it's got to be a little difficult just to let him go. So Austin Riley, absolutely someone that I'm following. I think as a reserve pick, Austin Riley could be pretty damn good. As a reserve pick, okay? Now, let's get to the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals of St. Louis. Now, 2 of the players that I'm following for St. Louis. One of them, Harrison Bader. As I mentioned last week, Harrison Bader and Colton Wong are having a little off-the-field competition. They are going to challenge each other to see who could find Tito Luna the fastest. And I found him. Good morning to Tito Luna. Great to have Tito. Dirty Eck. Boy, it's so good to see you. Dale is here. I spoke to Dale yesterday. Big Al. Great stuff. Dennis Timko. Great to see you. Get Jeremy Gibbs back in the chat room. Come on. Get Gibbs back here. I know he's teaching. He should put the radio on during his class. Let the kids learn something. For goodness sake, man. Unbelievable. Okay, now, as we move back, Harrison Bader is a player that, if he has any success in the spring, I'm really going to jump on him. Oh, yes. Hi there. Look who's here. A 250 batting average with 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases for Harrison Bader. How about that? Last year was a big disappointment for Harrison Bader. The strikeout rate went up to about 30%, okay? A lot of swing and misses. But, you know something? He's 25. he hit just 141 against breaking balls, 178 against real off-speed pitches, and he killed the fastball. Now he's got to make the adjustment. Big Harris. Now, if Harrison Bader fails, we're talking about handcuff picks. Okay? If Harrison Bader fails, and you're drafting early, you draft Harrison Bader, I think it's a good thing to follow him up with Lane Thomas. And, yep. So Lane Thomas. They got Tyler O'Neill, they got Lane Thomas, they got Harrison Bader, and they got Dylan Carlson. And if they all do well in the spring, who starts? It doesn't matter. You got to take, I don't think Lane Thomas will start. But I do think he'll be a tremendous acquisition if you have him in reserve. The guess is that Bader starts in center field. Okay? Thomas is very intriguing. He can play left and in center. In 2018, all he did was hit. That's it. All he did was hit. In 2018, he started in Double-A, played 100 games, hit 27 homers, stole 13 bases. 2019, played in the Arizona Fall League. He looked pretty good. He began the season in Memphis. He hit 268, 10 homers, 11 steals. So you're looking here at two power speed guys. Okay? Two of them. So the Cardinal fans probably remember he was limited, but timely hitting. He had 44 plate appearances before he had a season-ending hand injury. He hit .316. Okay? So Lane Thomas. Who else is talking about Lane Thomas? I ask you, my fellow Americans. So, also keep in mind Justin Williams is someone that is on the 40-man roster. He had a lost year last year, but keep an eye on Justin Williams, okay? And then you got Randy Arozarena, who the Cardinals traded to Tampa Bay. With him gone, with Arozarena gone, opens up time, okay? They were much too overcrowded there. Okay, as far as the Cardinals are concerned, St. Louis Cardinals, 88 is the over-under on the Cardinals. 88 is the over-under on the Cardinals. I'm going to say, unless they do something, and there's still the possibility of the Cardinals getting Nolan Arenado. Now, that's just a possibility, okay? But it's likely, and it's, look, I think the Cardinals could absolutely do it. When you have prospects like the Cardinals do, Nolan Gorman, 19-year-old third baseman, very aggressive, but he doesn't have great contact skills. He's got a lot of power, so Nolan Gorman could go. Matthew Liberatore, the big 6'6" left-handed pitcher. He's very athletic. He's got polish. He's got the stuff. He's got mound presence. Look out. Could they package Liberatore and Gorman in a deal? Could they do it? Zach Thompson, he's a lefty out of Kentucky, 19th pick in the 2019 draft. Had some, he hits 97. He's another left-handed pitcher, okay? Had some health problems, but he's one of the best arms coming out of the 2019 class. I know they got Molina, but Andrew Kinzer is a strong bat. He's a 24-year-old. There are plenty of teams looking for a catcher. Andrew Kinzer got a strong bat. He's got a tremendous offensive profile. His defense needs to grow, but they're calling him the heir apparent to Molina. And he could even make an impression this year. Genesis Cabrera, electric, another lefty. They have now. Come on, man.